Flavor on 947.
Welcome to My First Hit, brought to you by SAMPRA. Love the beat? Well, why don't you pay for play? We always hang out with the biggest names in music. Today is no different. Talented singer, songwriter, his name is Tellaman. He joins me now to chat about how it all began. Good morning.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How you doing, man?
Good, and you, my dog?
I'm chilling, right?
Yeah, so interesting because you have quite a story about the beginning of your career.
Yep, I think everybody has one.
Yeah, I can't wait to unpack yours because I feel like somehow I was there right at the beginning, even though I may not be the one who opened the door.
Yeah.
But I was kind of like there watching
Yes,
you,
sir.
right? So before we even play Whipped and before we even talk about Mayo, there was a project that record label Soul Candy dropped. Soul Candy Sessions 2015.
Yes, sir.
And
That you were a part of.
that I was a part of. So I think it featured 4 discs, né?
Yeah.
Or 5. Let's go through it. So it was Lula Cafe.
Yeah.
It was DJ producer Cuba.
Yeah.
It was Harrell.
Yeah.
It was me, and then it was you.
Yeah, it was
right?
a 5 disc.
It was a 5-disc album. That was the first time I met you, or even heard of you. So was that your breakthrough, complete body of work project into the music industry? And how did you land that? Because Soul Candy was a big label. It dropped, massive hits for, especially in the dance community.
Yeah. That was my first big project and a commercial project. So it was a very big deal for me. How I landed it was through a friend of mine. Pascal is from Amsterdam
Right?
in the Netherlands. So he was close with the label manager at the time, and we met via Facebook. He wanted to work with me on this EP. He wanted to do a remix for a song that I did and make an EP out of it. So we did that, and then he started speaking about me to these guys here. It's crazy because I remember the first time I came to Johannesburg, I went to Soul Candy to leave like a demo and stuff like that.
Really?
But
What?
I didn't even get through the door. I left it by the security. It was crazy.
And do you think the security even took it in?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so at all. So to be able to get that call and be like, yo, we want to work on this album with you and you're going to have your own disc was crazy to me. So yeah, man, it was dope. I got to produce, record, mix the album. So it was a very big deal for me for sure.
Yeah, and I'm just thinking, when you talk about doors and knocking and hoping to get a breakthrough, etc., I mean, was it easy for you to even take that step? Because I know it's very difficult for a lot of people who want to get in, young, talented, to take that bold step to say, all right, I'm going to go and knock on that door. What was happening in your life even before you took your demo to Soul Candy?
I mean, it was a very hard thing to do. I think at the time I was part of a group. We were making music, obviously. The first step that we decided to take was to come to Johannesburg and try to give people demos and stuff like that. That was
Sure.
my first time leaving Durban
Yeah.
ever. So it was scary. It was exciting at the same time, But you always have that drive, you want to prove your people wrong and stuff like that,
Yeah.
because nobody believed that you can actually
Really?
become a full-time musician and make it this far. So yeah.
So when you told people you want to be an artist, they were like, you? Please,
Yeah,
man.
for sure. I remember a friend of mine, he's one of my best friends. We're still friends till this day.
Yeah.
At some point, he asked me, what makes you so sure that you are going to make it? Because, a lot of people try and they fail all
Yeah.
the time.
Yeah,
He was so, serious about it. I was like, yo, bro, I don't know. I just, it's just a feeling. And also, I'm doing what I love. So regardless of the fact that I fail or succeed, it doesn't really matter that much. What matters is that I'm doing what I love right now. So yeah, that was that.
Yeah, and all those humble beginnings and the doubting and the knocking on doors got you to this point. Okay,
Exactly.
so the first thing I need to do is play this song. I'm going to play Whipped, all right? And I know this is further down the line into your career, but I thought it was important that we take it back to that Soul Candy project.
Yes, sir.
Because that, for me, was the moment that introduced you to the lights. Then there were songs that really stand out, that really sort of took you to the next level.
Yeah.
This has to be one of them. Whipped has to be one of them.
Yeah, this is probably my biggest yet. Yeah, for sure. But it wasn't the first that kind of put me in a different space. Put me in different conversations in terms of like the artist that I was at the time
Sure.
and my contribution to the game. I think Mayo was like the first that kind of put me there and made everybody be like, okay, who is this kid? You know
And
what I'm
that
saying?
was about what, 2-3 years before Whipped came out, more or less.
Yeah, this was yeah,
Sure.
2, 3 yeah, 2, 3 years. For
So,
sure.
so when you say it changed the rooms you got to, be a part of in terms of conversation, tell me a little bit more about that. Because in Mayo, in particular, with DJ Speedster, you were a featured artist,
Yeah, I was.
and yet that feature did a lot for you.
It did a lot. It's crazy because it was just a feature and I only had a verse on that song. So, and shout out to Young Swiss because he's the one who actually came up with the hook of the song. So, the song was sent to me with the hook already and stuff like that. So I had to just like lay my verse and stuff like that. I guess you kind of you don't decide if like the people are gonna receive you a certain way. I just happened to be like lucky at that moment. I guess like people sort of like gravitated towards my verse more.
Why
I
do you
mean,
think that is so?
I don't know, man. I really don't know.
Is it really just luck?
I think it is. You need a bit of that, I think, in this game, But I think everybody contributed so well to the song and made it what it is today. So shout out to everybody that was part of it for sure.
So then, how did your life change? Were you getting more bookings? Were more artists and producers wanting to work with you? Were you getting more radio interviews, music shows on TV? Like, what was the vibe?
I started to get a bit of all of that you mentioned right now, but I really started like to do shows off of Mayo, because I think before that, Nasty C. No, actually not before. I think Bad Hair was dropped right after Mayo, so I got to be part of like shows that I wasn't really expecting at the time. So it was a dope experience, I guess. It was.
And it also, in a way, served as some sort of recognition for the talent that you have.
I think so because I was coming from like a house music world.
Yes, because in fact, that Soul Candy project was like pretty much a house project, yeah?
From start to finish.
So that's what you were singing on house music.
Exactly.
And then here you are on hip hop. Even I was surprised. I'm like, okay. Oh no, he's got talent, yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, man. It was a nice way to show how versatile I am as a musician for sure.
And then when all of this was happening, Mayo coming out, Whipped, and all the attention, what then did you want out of your career? Where did you want to take it? And do you feel you achieved that?
Not exactly. I think some of it I have, but I think at the time the most thing that I was thinking about was obviously just to show everybody how good I was when it comes to making music. I think when you're coming from a producer background, you always have that chip on your shoulder on like, I can produce this, I can produce that, I can write this, I can, you know what I'm saying? But you never really get to showcase it most of the time. So what Soul Candy allowed me to do is to showcase my talent from like a producer's perspective and also an artist. When I left that, I wanted to do more in that world, but also like obviously show how versatile I was, like do hip hop, do R&B, do a bit of rock, and you know what I'm saying? I mean, I haven't touched on all of those yet, but that's like the main goal is to be able to experience different kind of music and be able to work with other people, especially outside of South Africa. So that's the goal, I guess, and just like put the style of music and singers in general from South Africa like on the map,
Tellaman,
because I feel like hip hop is kind of like the thing right now.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say, Tellaman looked around the room. He was like, I'm gonna go to the hip hop floor now.
Exactly.
It just seems cooler.
Exactly.
The girls are hotter.
Nah,
That's
hey,
where I'm
yo. I mean, they are. I think they hot everywhere. I think.
How do you? I mean, is it possible to keep yourself grounded when you're an artist? I mean, people talk a lot about humility and all of that. Is it possible when you look at what happens when you become popular and when you become famous?
I think it's possible. I think it's possible. I think it's important to keep the same friends that you came up with, because I think they help a lot with that also, you know.
Right.
They keep you in check, because it's like they don't need you to be a certain way, and they don't need to be a certain way with you for you to be cool. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
they can tell you if you're doing something wrong or if you're saying something wrong, you know?
Sure.
I feel like a lot of people are surrounded by yes men, and that is like the wrong people to have around, because
Yeah.
you don't really know when you're going down the wrong path and stuff like that.
Did you make friends in the industry as you went through your journey? And who are they?
No, I don't. I have friends in the industry, but I didn't make them in the industry.
Oh, you met them before?
Yeah.
Right.
Some just before, some way before. Like, I'm friends with Nasty, everybody knows, but it's not like we met in the industry. He was like, okay, let's
Sure.
link up and stuff like that. No.
And you guys are still cool?
Yeah, it's one of my best friends. Like, we play games almost like every day together, you know. We speak, we still make music together. That's like probably the only friend I have in the industry, well, commercially, right?
Sure, sure.
That's made it this far. So some of them we make music with, but they haven't really broken into the industry.
I
So
see. And how does that make you feel, knowing that the cats you've left behind and cats that have sort of went ahead of you, so to speak?
I mean, everybody has their own journey. So I'm not worried about where I am. I'm not worried about people passing me and stuff like that. I'm just worried about my own work and where I'm trying to go. You know what I'm saying? As long as we're cool as people, everything is fine.
Sure, absolutely. Of course, the other thing is how to make sure that your music, the business of it, is in check. That you're making money from what you do, whether you're in the studio for hours, whether you're putting out records, whether you're performing. This must be important. I'm trying to figure out what you have done to make sure that you're able to make a living off what you do.
I think for me was to try and get people that are gonna help me with all of that. You know, like trying to get better management. You know, and just keep those people around me, because obviously I'm not good at everything. You know, I'm just good at being a musician. So I need people that are gonna help me, sort of like put me in a better position and also be able to make that money. You know what I'm saying? Be able to perform, be able to collect royalties and all of that stuff. So yeah, I guess you just try to put you in a position where you can have people that have good intentions that are gonna help you, you know, establish that for sure.
Absolutely. So obviously I've just played Drink Champs, but going forward, you mentioned that you want to make a lot of music, also coming out of a bit of a break. What was that break about?
It was just personal stuff, you
Yeah.
know, like family and stuff like that. Also, I was going through a phase where I was leaving my old label into a new label and stuff like that. So like I needed to take my time with that and stuff, you
Sure.
know, and not just like release music in between and not knowing what was what and stuff like that. So yeah.
Okay, so now you are stable, you are clear, and everything is mapped out. So what's the plan going forward?
Yeah, right now I'm working on my EP that I'm set to drop pretty soon. Drink Champs is actually part of it. So yeah, we working with Gamma now, which is like an international label.
Sure.
So yeah, we're trying to make more music and come back and just have fun with like the fans that thought, you know, where's Tellaman? Where's Tellaman? It's so quiet, you know? So we're trying to tap back in for sure.
Yeah, I hope they're not going to blame Amapiano for that.
No.
Any song that you want to jump on? Any tune that you're thinking, maybe we haven't heard it yet, but I mean, do you have an interest in the sound?
Yeah, I'm definitely interested. As soon as I find my way around it, I will definitely do something.
What's
for
there to find? Go to a club, come back, get some Jaeger, hook up a dance move, and then we on TikTok, we live.
No, that's not how I make music, bro. That's not how I make music. It has to be meaningful, not in a sense of like I have to say something profound on the song, no.
Yeah.
But like I have to feel like I actually have contributed something dope to a song. You know what I'm saying? I have to be happy about it. Right now, I don't feel like I have something dope to contribute. You know what I'm saying? So as soon as I figure that out, then I'll definitely do one.
Nice one. Listen, I love the fact that you're clear on where you are, and when you're ready to do stuff, you'll do it. Tellaman, you're an immense talent. You know this.
Thank you.
People know this. So all I can say is keep going, keep at it, and may you reach the heights that you seek.
Appreciate it, brother. Thanks for having me.
Nice one. Can't wait to check out the brand new music coming through from Tellaman and so much more. That is singer-songwriter Tellaman live on 947. It is My First Hit, brought to you by SAMPRA. Love the beat, pay for play.
Mo Flava on 947.